Welcome to the Sana Project, where we take you well beyond our everyday skin clinic practices and give you insights to our philosophy. This collaborative podcast is hosted by our team and guest experts in various fields. So let us take you to Skinfinity and beyond, where we will be covering topics on skin, internal health, mind, soul, energy, life, and integrated practices. Our hope is to spark thoughts that resonate and serve you to make conscious choices to live your best life. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Welcome to our first episode of the Sana Project. My name's Christine. I'm the owner of Sana Skin Clinic and I'm here with Aesha today. And I thought the best way to start this is to introduce Aesha, how we met each other and how she has become our latest team member.
Yeah. I never thought that I'd be actually working alongside a beauty clinic, to be honest. I've really changed my perspective on like beauty and sort of like and that's thanks to you.
Really?
Yes, because I would never walk in and get a facial done and all that stuff, and then I really listened to you and it was amazing because I was like, oh wow, they're actually taking things deeper.
Yeah.
They're looking at beauty from all angles and aspects and coming inside, and I thought I like this.
Yeah, right. Because so the way we have really brought Aesha on board is because obviously we're taking care of, I guess, the topical needs of the clients that are coming through in terms of skincare, treatments, that
also
sort of thing.
Diet. You've been doing
Yeah, so
diet.
we've got our naturopath on board as well, so she looks at everything internal. But then we kind of thought, why stop there? Because purely from my perspective, if we got a client, let's say they come in with acne concern or whatever the issue might be, yeah, we can take care of them topically. We can look at internal triggers, but often, actually more often than not, it'll be things like, they really got huge stresses in their life or something that they haven't dealt with, and that's just an ongoing thing that just spikes everything else. And that's kind of like putting petrol into a fire, and all their skin, like the skin will always reflect what's going on internally. So we wanted to take care of topical, internal, and then with you, it's really of the mind, the energy.
Yeah.
So maybe tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so I really work with breath.
Yep.
I use breath a lot, so a breathwork facilitator as well as a spinal energetics facilitator. Well, I look at, and why this is so important, and I love what you said, is that even if you look at, say, someone wanting to lose weight.
Yep.
Okay. So it is so important to look at the diet and what you're eating as well as the exercise, right? But also on an energetic level, just creating that space of like peace, calm, rest, renewal, balance, harmony within, right? And I've really understood that all of those aspects are important and equally of value. So it's not like I can only do the energetics and then there's no need for like the topical care and influences, right?
Yeah, it all works hand in hand, doesn't it?
And this is why it's important, because people think, okay, if you do one, then everything else is good. If you do the energetics and that's taken care of everything. No, because you still have a physical body. And that needs its own care on a physical level. And then you got emotional and you got mental and you got like pretty much the soul and the energetics. And I think that's why doing what I do, which is like working with the nervous system and also your subconscious mind, it really tackles us as a being in a whole.
Yep.
Right? So it's looking at all aspects of ourselves at the one time without separating ourselves. And I think this is why I like the approach, because if you look at it, you're doing a well-rounded, supportive care.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? I reckon that's like what I love about all of this and how the Sana Project actually started is I honestly had this idea during one of the lockdowns. And the cool thing is that these days people are actually more open to what, I don't know, a couple of years ago, they just label everything as woo-woo.
Yeah.
You know, like even talking to a naturopath and things like that. But now people just, I don't know, people are becoming more aware of that there are different ways than, because what's a normal way? Like if you're not feeling well and you've got something presenting on your skin, you go to the doctor, what happens? They give you antibiotics. You know, if you say you're not mentally feeling so well or energetically, what do you get? Bloody
some other tablets,
antidepressants, all that sort of stuff. So I think my aim with this was always to bring different people on board that can just, I guess, educate people on what else is out there. And then people can actually go, oh, okay, well, you know, that's really cool. I never heard about that before. And then even if it's just something that they keep in the back of their minds, and whenever they're ready, they can maybe start exploring that and put it all together, and just the benefits of it. It's incredible.
Yeah, like I remember when you came, and so if I look at you when you came, no, she wasn't that bad.
Oh, it was pretty bad.
No, she's, you know, and that's the beauty of it, right? I've actually seen you blossom.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is, you know, and I remember, you know, I said to you, hey, I can't feel that liveness in you, like, you know, and I really felt like now you've blossomed and we laugh and we make fun and you're like so much more, you are so much more curious and creative and you're inspired and your ideas are like always on, you know, and I was like, shit, you know, I've created a monster.
It really is like that though, honestly, because like I feel like I've sort of been open to things in my life, but it wasn't until I really put it all together. Like it was just like, you know, I thought, okay, well, I've done a meditation here and there and, you know, I sort of listened to this a little bit, but it didn't fully sink in until I met you, and it kind of just went, yeah, you really, I don't know, you unleashed something there, and
And I'm a taskmaster, so I'm like, did you do it? Did you do the homework?
No, and I absolutely love that. So I guess, so we had our first in-clinic event here with you where we really put the two together as an introduction, where we had your breathwork event on a Sunday, and then for the following week we got the people through for like a really cool grounding facial. And that's something we're going to be doing, I guess, what did we say, every sort of 3 months or so?
Yeah. I think like, and I want people to understand exactly that, you know, these things shouldn't be separated. Like how beautiful it is to be able to have a beautiful grounding mask while you're working on the internal levels and combining it. And it actually felt amazing, like the feedback from the people. They loved it.
Yeah,
you know?
they did.
And the setting is nice, and it's like now to encourage people that were, look, I was one of them. Like these worlds weren't mixing for me, right? And now I look at it and I think, God, this work has spread into so many different, you know, ventures for me. And I love that we're actually bringing stuff together and not isolating and separating. And so I think it's really important. And just touching back on like the medication aspect of it, I do believe in medication. I do believe in, you know, taking tablets if need be and stuff. I'm finding two types of people that are wanting to do it this way now. It's the ones that have really tried that way, and for a long time they really stuck to it and gave it a good shot, and nothing really changed. I mean, they could manage, and then they couldn't even manage after that because it was sort of like a numbness. And I think they get to that place where they go, shit, I don't really want to live like that. So I've had those kind of people. And I think that's a good thing too, because I think that journey is important. You've got to be able to say, I've tried it all. I've tried. So it's not about, you know, saying this is better, that is not good. I think individuals have to come to this at a point where they are willing to give it all and go through the process. But you can only do that when you said, look, I've tried everything else as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is too, like a lot of people are maybe not even aware that there are things like, you know, what you do. We even see it in practice here, like people go and, you know, they kind of think they have to peel their skin back to bare bones just to reveal that fresh new skin. But we're like, hang on a second, we can actually work with that. But it's about the commitment from the people as well, like, because it's not they're they come in to see us or you and they walk out and they're fixed and they don't have anything to do. Because I think for a lot of people that is also the, how should I say that? It's not a lazy way, but it's like, you pop a pill and that's supposed to take care of everything, whilst we're almost, as well as you, would challenge people to do their own work.
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way. Taking a pill doesn't actually fix it. No. You just get numb to what's happening underneath it, the core thing that's causing it, right? So on a surface level, it might reduce the symptoms.
Yep.
Right? And it might reduce like the aches and pains, and your body's communicating, hey, this is not right. Look at this on a deeper level. But what we do with like medication and stuff is just sort of like stop the communication of the body, right? And so this is why this kind of work takes a little bit longer and more investment from you, because, hey, let's go to the core and see what's actually causing this information to be, looked at. And I think that's why it's important to be ready for that, because if you're committed to even taking a tablet for 9 years, that's still commitment. You still took a tablet for 9 years, right? So can you offer yourself that commitment to do the work differently? It's still, that's the whole point of it. And I think this is why too, what we're doing is so amazing, because again, combining two different aspects of like self-care, healing, whatever you want to call it. I don't call it healing, I call it more connection.
Yep.
Is important. I don't show up looking a certain way or talking a certain way or being a certain way, because I don't want people to think that you've got your type of people, I've got my type of people. No. I want people to know that, hey, this kind of practice should be so normal. And it's not for people that just meditate and just, are like always in Zen and, they're on a spiritual journey. You don't have to. You don't have to, all right? I don't have to be the person with the best skin in the world to just look after my skin. I just should have a basic practice. I should be a normal person living normal life. Yep. And being able to combine these things.
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
I think is important.
I think that's what Emily, our naturopath, always approaches as well, because often there's I think with anything that we do between us, there's these common misconceptions of what people think it's going to be like and whatever. But even naturopath, for example, people think, oh, you're going to come in and she's going to tell you, don't eat dairy, don't eat sugar, basically, be miserable.
Yeah. Eat a leaf.
Yeah, but it's I love the way she does it. She will maybe get you on some supplements and stuff like that, but it's not about then having
depleting,
all that sort of stuff, but it's about making just a few more aware swaps in your life, rather than doing this, do that, eat a little bit more of this, maybe try and stay away from that. But then even it's about, I'm always really big on, the more you know about something, the more you can just make a well-informed decision in any regards.
Just choice. It's about choice.
Yeah. So, and that way, I know that I really shouldn't have dairy and my skin will show it and my gut's not healthy. But you know what? If someone puts a bloody cheese plate out in front of me, I'm I know what I'm going to expect, but I really want that cheese.
Yeah. And I think that's healthy. I actually think that's really healthy. Choice is healthy for me.
Yeah.
Having informed choice and making a choice from that. I think a well-rounded, that's empowerment.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think what we will have Aesha on here regularly for is really we're putting a different spin on things. We're going to look at things in just different, I don't know, how would we call it?
Well, I think it's important to have deeper conversations nowadays. Yeah. Like I say, people have tried many things. We have distracted ourselves. We have sabotaged ourselves. We have consumed. We've got so much that we've layered. I think it's important to now go within, start to have deeper conversations, get to the core of stuff. And conversations are a great place to start, right? Conversations create curiosity.
Yeah, I love that.
And I really love that because we miss that. What are you curious about?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are curious about others and outside, but we haven't really been curious about ourselves and why we do certain things we do, why we act a certain way.
Yeah.
How do we show up like this? What is it about us that makes me different to you? And I think conversations are a great place to start and that's why we're doing it.
And we're going to have lots of different conversations about lots of different things. And
Absolutely.
I think I would actually love as well if people get involved. So maybe we'll put it on the socials,
Yep,
collect some
100%.
topics from there.
Yep.
So yeah, but
Absolutely.
we're going to have lots of fun doing this.
And some F-bombs will be dropped.
Yes, and we're not sorry about that.
Absolutely.
No, we're just going to be real, and we hope you love it.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
That's good.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends and get involved in our socials to help shape the topics on this podcast. We'd love to meet you. You can simply book from our webpage or reach out. We are here to help.